bunkers tends to be one of the biggest challenges we face at Moor Hall since the new design, the steeper banks, the different sand. It's probably the one thing at the golf club that we tend to find that people struggle with. We're going to try and help you understand the technique needed and the skills needed to get that ball out of the bunker, and hopefully giving you a chance for that all-important sand save. Thing is, to start, just think about the club you're using. I tend to, for greenside bunker shots, use my most lofted club, which is my 58 degree. What I would suggest is that you don't always have to choose your most lofted club. I would a lot of times maybe go to 54 degrees. I think particularly if you're struggling for speed and creating the right speed to get the ball coming out of the bunker, maybe go down to a gap wedge or possibly even a pitching wedge, open the face a little bit, and that will just put a little bit more energy through the golf ball to create that speed needed to get it onto the green. So what's really important in bunker shots, I think for me there's three things. It's understanding where your low point is, so basically where the club is grounding with the sand, and obviously that's got to be before the ball, around about 1 to 2 inches before the ball. Secondly is speed, and third is commitment. And when I talk about commitment, what I mean by that is not being frightened to hit the ball too hard, making sure that you follow through. We see so many people that take the club back on bunker shots and then really try and sort of help the ball up, and then that moves the low point of the swing. So a really nice simple way to work on this is just draw a line in the sand and just basically work along the line, and you get a good idea of where you then will ground the club relative to that line. So what we want to see is, you can see that this is the original line, and those last two I've just got that entry point coming in just shy of the golf ball. So we're catching that sand first, and then that pocket of sand is then lifting the ball out of the bunker. So if you can get consistent with that low point, it's then going to make it much easier to play consistent bunker shots. When we come to set up with bunkers, I think there's certain things. Obviously, make sure that you have enough loft on the club to give it the height needed to get it over the bank. I think there's nothing worse than putting the ball in front of you. Ball position for me should be just forward of middle of the stance, because my low point is around about the middle of my stance. So if I could just push it fractionally forward, maybe a ball or two forward, and then get that entry point consistent, and then that strike on the ball consistent. A couple of key things for me when we do set up to the ball is, number one, we just a little bit open club face, okay, not too much. Again, we've already talked about the ball position. The next thing is to make sure that we put more weight into this left leg. I would say that I've probably got 75% of my weight on my front foot, and that's really important. We're trying to get that feeling that we're hitting sort of down into the sand a little bit, and then letting that club head overtake the handle or the grip on the way through the shot, okay? So you can see from face on, almost my sternum is fractionally ahead of the ball, but my hands don't press forward. If they press forward, the club head will start to, being a right-handed golfer, start to point to the right. So the grip should be sort of up into the middle of my body. And then from there, I'm just going to make, dependent on the length of the swing, the length of backswing I feel that's needed, but I'm going to make sure that I follow it all the way through. So I really get my chest facing the target. So here goes. Okay, so you can see how I've really turned through that shot. Ball came out nice and easily. Even working with this line, you can see here's the original line, and the divot that I've taken is either side of it. So get the setup right, choose the right club, and then make sure that you create speed and commit to the shot. It's really, really important. Get out on the practice ground, get practicing, and you'll really see an improvement to your bunker play. Enjoy the journey.